Good morning. Looks like we are live and streaming and everything's working fairly well today. Our internet has been a bit glitchy, so hopefully it will stabilise. Hi Rachel, if it is Rachel, and anybody else that's watching, we are going to be drawing a poison dart frog today. This particular poison dart frog, which is called a mimic dart frog or a mimic frog. So we're going to be learning a bit about dart frogs, poison dart frogs in general, a little bit about this particular species, and of course we're going to be drawing him. Hi Kate as well. I'm hoping that audio is working and you can actually hear me. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be working on my page landscape based today because I think it's slightly wider than it is to our reference image. And I think this is going to be a challenge for me. I know if you've been with me a while, you know that I prefer furry animals because I think it's a bit more forgiving as a texture. Drawing an amphibian where we need to get the form really accurate, but also be able to show that sort of reflective, shiny, wet surface to their skin is like a new challenge, and it's going to be an interesting one, especially because we've got so many bright, awesome colours on this frog as well. We're going to be learning about why he has those colours as well. So to start with, these frogs are commonly known as poison arrow or poison dart frogs because indigenous communities reportedly rubbed their arrow tips on the frogs' backs before hunting. However, only 3 species have actually been documented being used for this purpose, including the golden poison frog, which is the most toxic of all the frog species. The golden poison dart frog has enough poison to kill 20,000 mice. Scientists think that poison dart frogs get their toxicity from some of the insects that they eat. Hello, Abby. You are a little glitchy. I did wonder if we were going to be. Hopefully, give it time. It will stabilise a little bit. But yeah, it might just mean that you can't hear all of the facts, but you'll be able to follow on with our drawing, I'm sure. So I'm going to get started, I think I'm going to struggle with this one today, so I just can feel it in my bones. So I'm going to get started straight away, trying to sketch out. I really want to make sure that the form is accurate before I start adding colour because, like I said, because there's no fur that can sort of be a little bit more forgiving in terms of accuracy, I want to make sure that the shape of my frog looks pretty good as well. I like your nails, by the way. Well, thank you very much. My lovely friend Steph does these for me. I'm not that good because I'm a terrible skin picker. And if I have my nails done, it calms me down a little bit with that. So, let's start with the eye. I think really big round eye. I'm slightly off to the left of the page for this part of it, and I'm just sketching so lightly because I've got a feeling I'm not going to get this right first time. Already I'm feeling I've done it too big because I'm going to struggle to fit in the other details, but we'll see how we go. So I'm not worried too much about the fine details. I just want to make sure that I've got enough space on my page to get everything in that I want to get in. And then I can go back and add in other details and correct things in a little bit. Just want to make sure. Now, for my reference picture, it actually cuts off the bottom of his foot. So I don't think it'll be a bad thing if I don't get the whole frog in because I will struggle to fill in the gaps with my imagination. So it's not going to be too bad if I cut off some of the frog because that's going to naturally happen anyway because of the reference picture I've used. If you wanted to draw the whole thing in, the whole frog, and you're not sure what that back foot looks like, what I would recommend you do is actually look up another image of a poison dart frog, or in particular a mimic frog, so you can see what the foot should look like, and it'll make it easier for you to fill in the gaps then. But I definitely want to show these front feet because I think a frog's feet are quite iconic, really, aren't they? You can just see the other front foot. It's out of focus, but we can draw it in focus. That's the beauty of art, is that we can make adjustments to suit our needs and our preferences as well. And it's even like if you choose to do the background, for example, the petal that he seems to be sitting on from a flower, you could, and you wanted to change the colour, you could. So I've said it before and I'll say it again, there are no rules with art as far as I'm concerned. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, there's just your way. think I can just see the bit of back leg on my picture will fit in. I'm really filling a space today, which means it's going to take me longer to shade, so I'll best get a wriggle on. That ain't too bad at the start for a creature that I thought, oh, I'm going to struggle with this one today, and that's not too bad. Hi Pie. So we can't see a lot of the details around the mouth and nose very well because he's got darker markings here, but I'm going to sort of guess things. So I feel like I can see a line of the mouth there and a nostril just about there. And I'm going to start drawing in the markings. We've got a fly in the room. I don't know if it's being picked up on the microphone, but if we had a poison dart frog, he'd sort it out. He'd eat it for breakfast. Good morning, Joe. Joe's joining us as well. Morning. How you doing, Michael? Sound like you're struggling. I can hear you humping, huffing and puffing. And he's got these lovely little spots on him as well, so I'm going to draw those in. And some little patches. And then we've got some little spots on his legs as well, so I'm going to draw some of those in. But I won't sketch them all in, I'll probably add some more as I'm shading. Oh, there's a big spot on the back I forgot, I missed. Cool. Now, do you know what? Once again, I think I talked myself into believing that it was going to be a lot trickier for me, and actually I surprised myself. I'm quite happy with that. That's not too bad. Not a bad start to the week. How's everyone else getting on so far? I think I'm ready to start adding colour. I'm just going to give it a few seconds. I'm going to share a couple of facts with you. Poison frogs are known for their beautiful colours, and amphibians that have toxic skin secretions tend to have bright warning colours or patterns, like a lot of animals when you think about it. A lot of insects in particular, think of wasps, and bright yellow and black. To warn people, you don't want to eat me, I might cause you harm. It's theorised that these colours function as a visual warning and a learned response on the part of the predator. So it's a good defence mechanism. Some animals have warning colours, effectively false warning colours, so they don't have anything poison or toxic, but they have the warning colours as a defence mechanism so that animals don't want to eat them. So what it means by when it says a learned response on the part of the predator is that a predator that finds a certain kind of amphibian to be distasteful will associate the warning colour with a bad taste, and after one or more such experiences will recognise the distasteful species and refrain from attacking it. So that's how it protects itself effectively. Poison frogs are generally a small species, about 0.75, so 3/4 to 1.5 inches in length, and their lifespan varies. They can live for over 10 years in human care. The tricoloured poison frog will live up to 20 years, which is quite surprising, isn't it, for a little animal to live all that time? Right, I think I'm ready to start adding colour. So I'm going to start with the eyes to begin with, and I'm going to make sure I've got some nice big highlights reflecting the light back. So I'm going to leave big white space there as well. I'm going to get rid of some of these sketchy pencil lines whilst I'm there. And I'm going to use a black, but I'm going to go darker around the bottom edges. So build up a bit more tone there and then lighter towards the middle. My pencil is so small, it's very difficult to hold and draw with now. Shade. I'll have to treat myself to a new one. You're sketching in the spots now, Michael, are you?
No, I don't know what I'm drawing now.
You've just gone completely off
Completely
track.
off and some sort of galaxy frog, I guess.
Okay, Michael's going completely using his imagination. He's binned off the reference image
Well,
and he's doing his own thing there.
I'm doing a frog, but
Put your own spin on it.
a space frog, I guess.
Okay. I look forward to seeing it finished. We just saw poisonous frogs at the huge Poma de Mar Aquarium in Gran Canaria. Oh, nice. Did you see a mimic frog with the orange and blue ones that like we're drawing here? I bet they're quite fascinating to see up close and in the flesh, those colours. A better photo doesn't quite do it justice. I just realised I've missed a toe off my frog. Draw that in. The warning colours that occur in Animal Kingdom are used for humans too. That's why our warning labels are typically black and yellow or red. Sort of linked fact for you there. Oh, thanks, Jay. That's a really good point. Yeah. So we adopt that in terms of our signage to warn people of danger, same as the animals do. Okay, I've got a pencil that looks at first glance almost like black, but it's called a permanent violet, so it's got a bluey tone in it. So some of these spots, I don't think they're necessarily pure black, so I'm going to try and use this colour. So but yes, there was a black and green, black and blue, and black and yellow, very tiny little frogs. Oh. So now that I've added this onto the page, it's too purple. So this is the wrong colour pencil for me.
Unless you put black on it.
Yeah, I think I will. But I didn't want a purple tone. The clue was in the name really. I wanted more a blue tone, so I might have to crack open my tin and see if I can find the one I was looking for. Bear with me.
I'm going to name mine Mooney.
So the pencil I actually wanted was Prussian blue, and that's still very light when you put it on paper, so I'm not getting it right today at all, am I?
But, oh, sorry. Carry on.
As Michael said, when I put the black over the top, I'll still have that blue undertone, which is what I want. It's just going to take me slightly longer, so I'll need to shade relatively quickly, so I've got time.
Maybe I should call it Mooney Star.
Wait until you finished it and then name it.
Yeah, I'm not sure now. Galaxy Star? I don't know.
Amazing. And once again, because these are watercolour pencils, I can worry about blending a bit better when I add the water on. So I don't have to worry too much about getting it just right at this moment. I've paused at the reference image and drawn freehand. I'm now onto the colouring and shading. Oh, nice. So when you say you've paused at the reference image, the reference image is on the discussion tab of the event. So if you've got a secondary device, or you can print it out, that way you can still watch the live along with us. Oh, wrong pencil, I'm picking up the wrong, or am I? No, get rid of that one. I want the purple on the page again. Roughly putting colour down. And black on top. And again, as I've been doing in more recent draw-alongs, I want to kind of get the water on the page quite quickly so that I can then go back once it's dry to add in some other details. So you can see some like little spotty skin texture details on the frog, and I'd like to be able to add them in if I've got time. It's all about whether or not I allow myself that time for the water to dry. Flies back again. Just keeps reminding us it's still there.
I'm still here. Deep in concentration, that's why I've gone quiet. That happens sometimes. And then try and remember as well, you want that shiny surface, so I'm going to leave some literal white gaps to really make that, well, emphasise that and make it quite dramatic. So to create these highlighted areas so it looks a bit like it's reflecting the light. Oh, my full hand aching. Yeah.
I can sense it. Where can you find the reference photo? So if you look in the discussion tab of the event, you should see it sitting there. Hopefully it's easy for you to find.
If people don't like your artwork, you can still be proud of the achievement made in the progress. Absolutely. And you don't have to draw for anybody else. It's just for your own pleasure. I get a lot of enjoyment. I find it very relaxing to draw, actually. I think that's why it's another reason why it's so nice to do this on a Monday morning. Good way to sort of set the tone for the rest of the week. It really has made a difference because I'm filling the page. It has made a difference for how long it's taken me to get this colour down. So I'm rushing it a little bit, only because I'm on a time limit, but you guys don't have to. Thank you, Joe. Joe's just popped on the reference image for anyone that's struggling to find it. There's a link there for you to be able to get hold of it. And if you know anything about colour theory as well, you've heard the term contrasting colours. Those are colours that are like each other's opposites, and they go well together. They make the other colour stand out because they're opposite. So orange and blue are contrasting colours, and that's, I think, probably why I was drawn to this image in particular of a poison dart frog, because that is the main colour combination I'm seeing. So it really, you know, some animals have coloration that's designed to help them blend in so that you don't spot them, so camouflage. This one certainly doesn't necessarily want to blend in. It's using its colour as a way of showing you don't want to eat me. It's making it really obvious. Some oranges as well we need to put on there. I've also got like a light green, because when you look at the reference image, where it moves from blue to orange, I see green tones here as well. You all right, Michael?
Yeah, I just need the paintbrushes.
My paintbrushes, I see. So again, lots of white highlights on the top of the head where the sun's reflecting or the light's reflecting. Oh, forgot that spot again, didn't I? I forgot to draw it and I forgot to shade it. start adding some of that green in as well. How's everyone else finding this so far? Some brighter blue. Where's my dark blue gone? What have I done with it? Yeah. Got some more spots to put on his skin as well, yeah. Is it okay? Mine looks cartoony. Absolutely. You're never going to hear me say no to that. Mine come out a bit cartoony. And I think it's quite easy for that to happen with a subject like this because of the bright colours. Like it almost doesn't look organic. It looks cartoony as a reference anyway. But also, mostly, there's no right or wrong way with your artwork. So even if it's not what you were going for, it might just be a happy accident and it turns out a really cool cartoony illustration. That's absolutely fine by me. The bottom half of my frog doesn't exist yet. Well, I've cut off the bottom of my frog. I find that funny.
No, it's just how to make go for the toilet. Done.
You're finished already?
Mhm.
So, how do you think poison dart frogs communicate with each other?
By poisoning each other.
That's not a nice communication method.
I'm not sure.
They do it vocally. So, poison frogs can be heard calling in the flooded forest. Most species of frogs have well-developed vocal structures, capable of producing a variety of sounds that serve to attract mates, advertise territories, or express distress. Sound production is often the most common form of communication in animals that jump or fly, because they would otherwise have a difficult time communicating by scent. Ah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Frogs produce sound using their laryngeal apparatuses, larynx vocal cords like we have. And most mouse have vocal sacs that function as resonating chambers. And species of frogs can be identified based on their calls. So in terms of what they eat, most poison frogs mostly eat small insects such as ants, termites and small beetles, which they find on the forest floor. Many species capture their prey by using their sticky retractable tongues. Scientists believe that poison frogs gain their poison from a specific arthropod, so a type of like beetle, and other insects that they eat in the wild. And these insects most likely acquire the poison from their plant diet. As a result, poison frogs in human care on a diet of crickets and other non-poisonous insects are not poisonous themselves. That's interesting. So it's not a natural, not like a snake that would have a venom or other toxins in other animals that just they naturally produce it. It's because of what they're eating. They're ingesting it from insects that are ingesting it from plants. It's like a long chain, and that's what makes them poisonous or toxic. But actually, if you had them in captivity where they're not being fed that particular diet, even though we call them poison darts, they wouldn't necessarily be poisonous because they've not got the poison in their diet. Interesting. I'm just going in, putting a little bit more tone in places before I try and start adding water, and then I can add and adjust things after. But I definitely need to put some more spots on his legs looking at the image. Done. Someone's finished as well. Michael's finished too. I am not anywhere near finished. Where's me, isn't it? Everyone's waiting for me. And that little nostril in there as well. And I've got some spots on his hind leg as well, which I know, I don't know if anyone's spotted it, my hind leg is far too little. It should have come off the page, but I tried to squeeze it on and that was a mistake, I think, because obviously frogs have got really long back legs that help them jump, so I've not done that quite accurately. I think I'm going to start adding the water on now, see what happens. Where's my brushes? There. Because this can really, especially because I've used so much black, it can really change how it all looks. Start with the eye. Don't want to put too much water on because I'll lose control of where the colour goes. Got into deep concentration mode again, haven't I? I don't want to blend the black in with the orange because I want it to be very obviously the patterns and markings on him. So that's why I'm doing the black on its own. What shall I go next? Underneath, I think. Is that your tummy, Michael?
No.
Don't forget, if you are done and you're disappearing, don't forget that between 1 and 3 today, if you'd like some feedback, just post on the picture of this image, the one I'm drawing right now, and I will come along. But you need to post before 3 o'clock. And then next week, we've got our last one of the academic year. We're doing sea lions. So there are sea lions in South America. So we're going to be learning about them and drawing from our reference picture that's actually got 2 sea lions on. So we'll see if we can manage both of them in the time that we've got. And then that will be it for a little while. We go for our summer downtime. But I was thinking about this earlier. If that makes you sad and you don't want to wait until September to start drawing again, which, let's face it, we should carry on drawing through the summer. We have loads of these now up on our YouTube channel. So if you can't find them in our past events on Facebook, have a look at our YouTube channel. Just search for Draw Along with Pip on our YouTube channel and you will find loads of these. I think we started with British animals. I think we started with a fox about 18 months ago and we've done all sorts. So if you haven't been to every one of our draw alongs, because I'm not sure that anyone has, there's loads for you to catch up on. And that way you'll carry on developing your skills through the summer. It's like anything, if you stop doing it for a while, you sort of have to build up get your skill set again, don't you? So it's good to keep it going. Pie's done, so he's saying goodbye. Bye Pie. Don't forget to upload your image and hopefully we'll see you next week for the sea lions. Michael says bye. What are we doing after the sea lion? Sorry, Abby. So that's the last one of the academic term. That's what we were saying. So we have no more scheduled now until September. But what we are planning on doing next time, unless I change my mind, and that has been known to happen, is rather than visiting different places of the world next time, we're going to each term dedicate to a different type of animal, i.e. it could be marine animals, it could be different types of dolphins, it could be one term, for example, it could be big cats one term, so tigers, lions, leopards, all that sort of thing. So we're going to try and theme it so that we can really build our skill set up at drawing a particular animal before moving on to a different type of animal. Joe's put, it would be great potentially to revisit one you did early on and compare them to your first version to see your growth. That's actually a really good idea. We've said about this before. I've said, you know, when you're not happy with your drawing, don't throw it away, because it can be a really good benchmark when you're feeling confident to go back and try and draw this from the same image, and then you can really see how far your art has progressed. I'd love to see, maybe if enough people do that, we could put a post on our page inviting you to upload a before and after to show that progression. That'd be really cool. If any of you do give that a go, we would definitely want to see your artwork anyway, so feel free to DM us with the before and after, or even email us at technologytriumphs@outlook.com, and I'd love to be able to give you some feedback on that. So what any of your drawings, do a redraw so we can see a comparison on how your skills have developed over time. That would be amazing to see. I've watched all your draw-alongs. Wow, okay, so we have had it. That's amazing. That's incredible. That is dedication. You must have sketches everywhere. I'm interested to know what everyone's doing with their sketches. So Michael has basically created wallpaper with some of his sketches.
in his bedroom. But what is everybody else doing with theirs? Mine just go away in a drawer. Is anybody else doing anything specific with their sketches? Please draw a tiger someday. Well, I definitely think we need to do a big cats term, so it would make sense to put a tiger on there. We have already drawn a lion and a leopard, so we probably won't revisit those, but we could, there's so many big cats. I'd love to draw a cheetah. Cheetah are my favourite, so that's got to be on there. But I will be planning this over the summer, and I'll plan the whole year, so you'll know exactly what we're drawing all year long. I have an idea. What about bear theme or maybe a mythical theme? We've done mythical, Abby. So if you look on our YouTube, look for mythical. We've done that, and that was one of our earlier ones. But yes, bears, because we've done pandas and we've done red pandas already. Although, did we decide that red pandas don't actually class like a bear in the like others? I think that's what we concluded. I've kept all mine on sketchbooks, nearly seen every draw along. It's improved my drawings. Awesome, Pie. That's amazing to hear. We put ours on the cupboards. That's a good idea. Big cat one would be amazing. Who doesn't like some big cats? Yeah, so I need to get... Are there any other requests? I'm taking requests. So if we were theming each term to a different type of animal, i.e. big cats, what other theme would you like us to include? Can you think of any, Michael, that you'd like us to do?
Different football players.
That's not animals.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's, you know, I'm not drawing people. I don't like drawing people.
Maybe like you could do like a lot of people that come here. Maybe they could take a photo of their like dog. And like we draw.
We could do different species of dogs potentially, if there was enough for it. Potentially, we have drawn a dog before because we drew Roxy, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we did the Czechoslovakian wolf dog as well, which is now technically a dog type of dog. Seahorse and dragon. We've done seahorses. We've done dragons. We've got messages now. Snakes. Yes, we have done a snake, haven't we? But there's loads of different snakes. What about animals through history, like different periods of time? Oh,
dinosaurs.
It's difficult because we haven't got reference photos. That's the only thing, things that aren't real, because we have no photos of dinosaurs. What do you mean by that, Pi? Can you give me some examples? I'd love a theme of black and white animals, says Joe. Orca, panda, badger. Oh, that's clever. Kate's put guinea pigs. We've done guinea pigs. So definitely look on our YouTube channel. Birds, we could have a whole theme of birds, a whole theme of fish. Sea dragons, yeah, because they're quite similar to seahorse, aren't they? Joe, but I'd love to just suggest cephalopods, but I don't think you'd all forgive me after the octopus. I really wouldn't. Dolphins, different sharks, like hammerheads, yes. Right, you give me loads of ideas. So we've got 6 terms next year. So we have to think of 6 themes. I think big cats is a definite, but you've given me some really good suggestions there, so I'll go through and make decisions at some point, for sure. I need to get a wriggle on. I'm looking at the time. I'm too busy chatting. Although I was drawing at the same time, to be fair. Colouring, shading. You know what I mean? Right. I might have to move my page around to make it easier.
We've done a dodo, don't we?
We have not done a dodo, no.
Oh.
We would have a reference picture.
Oh no, what was that one?
Dinos and dodos would be cool, but the problem is we need actual photographs to work from.
The toucan.
Oh, we did toucan.
I the toucan. I thought it was a dodo bird, I don't know why.
Rodents, yep. Deep water animals like angelfish. Ferrets. Sounds like I've got next year taken care of already, Joe says, absolutely. Prehistoric animals like Pisidius would be great. Woolly mammoth, saber-toothed dodo. Now, we could do it like we did with the mythical animals, where we use other reference images to get the ideas. So, for example, like the saber-tooth, if you would look at a picture of a lion or a tiger as your reference picture, and then also look at the skeletal frame of actual saber-tooths and kind of figure it out. It would be a new challenge.
What about horses?
We've done a horse.
No, as in like different species.
Yeah, but they're going to look fairly similar, aren't they? You want
Different
some variety. Obviously, it will get Because if you had to draw
horses,
6 of
medium
them,
horses.
if you had to get 6 draw-alongs out of it, that I think that would be get a lot of repetitive for some people. But it does sound like there's a lot of requests for things that we've already drawn, so definitely check out the YouTube channel through the summer. Monkeys, primates, lemurs and things. Me and Ian got gel pens today, nice. I do love a good gel pen. What about manatees? Not all horses look the same, they have different markings, different breeds. Yeah, true. So we have, my other half's helps care for his late mum's horses, and we have a Welsh cob plus a couple of like Shetland ponies. So there are differences, but I think there are a lot of other themes we could explore where there's going to be a bit more variety. But I'll bear it in mind. Oops. Painting outside the lines now. I can't keep up. Rock pools. That's a good suggestion as well. Could do the horse family. So donkeys, stallions, Shetland, zebras. Oh yeah, that would be a great one. Joe, could you write some of these down for me? Because I'm going to forget it all.
You have 10 minutes.
Plenty of time. It's all good. I've got a couple more facts to share as well. Marsupials would be a good one as well, wouldn't it?
No idea what they are.
Or anything that like kangaroos and wallabies and anything that has a little pouch effectively. We did a kangaroo though. Oh, this is the thing. We don't want to repeat draws we've already done, really. Not on the lives.
done.
Cool. So, a couple more facts for you. They breed throughout the year, with rainfall being the primary factor controlling the timing of when they breed. They display elaborate and diverse courtship behaviours. In general, the male will lead the female to a site that he has chosen to lay the eggs. Most of these species of frogs deposit their eggs inside leaf litter, where it's dark and moist. Their clutches, so their eggs, vary in size between species from 1 to 40 eggs at a time. After about 10 to 18 days, and depending on the species and the temperature, eggs have matured into tadpoles. Either males or females remain with or periodically visit the nest, so they don't just lay the eggs and then leave them to it, they do look after them. All poison frog species carry their tadpoles on their backs. The adult sits in the remainder of the gelatinous egg clutch, and the tadpoles will wriggle up the hind legs and onto the back. The adult carries the tadpoles to a small stream, pool or other small body of water. Some species transport whole clutches at one time and are completely covered with tadpoles. Others transport them one by one or only a few at a time. After several months, the tadpoles go through metamorphosis and become adult frogs. As generally, in terms of talking about all poison dart frogs, they are a threatened species due to habitat loss and degradation, but the mimic poison frog that we've just drawn here is of least concern, so it's not threatened. It's the group of frogs in whole that are. So I finished within time again. I surprised myself because I rushed a little bit at the end. But don't forget to sign your work. So everybody knows that you did it. If I had a little bit more time, I probably would spend more time putting texture in the skin, but I don't think I'm going to have time to start that, so I'm just going to leave it there. There's my little poison dart frog from South America in the rainforests. Can't wait to see yours. Do you want to show yours, Michael?
Yeah.
So Michael went off and just did, what are you calling this? A galaxy-themed frog.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Galaxies.
used the reference picture as inspiration and then just done his own thing. I love the colours. I love the purple and the
Looks
blue.
like Godzilla or something like that.
It does, doesn't it? With it coming off the back. Nice. It's all about creating and enjoying the process. So two completely different outcomes from the same reference image. I love it. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys next week, or not, if not all of you guys, where we study the sea lion and we do our last draw along of the academic year, and I might have some answers for you by then as well as to what our terms will be the following September onwards. So look forward to seeing your artwork. See you soon. Hope you have a lovely, lovely week. See you later.
Bye.